Pete Wishart.
Very much, Mr. Speaker. Can I thank the still in place Leader of the House for announcing the business for next week? She's only going to upset my Brexit resignation bingo coupon, Mr. Speaker, because I had her definitely down as a resigner today. I know there's still opportunities later in the day, and she'll probably have something to say about her place and all this. And once she's recovered from the hangover, from all the unchilled chardonnay that was consumed last night, we might get a sense of what actually happened at that Cabinet meeting. But what we now want to hear from the Leader of the House is what's going to happen now. We need to be reassured that this nonsensical binary choice of a bad deal or a no deal is taken right off the table. Now, we just listened to the statement. Over half the Tory backbench were trashing introducing the Prime Minister's deal. It will not get through this House. We are facing the option of a no-deal Brexit. So what we need to design is a process where this House can consider a proper response with all the options properly presented so that we can take an informed choice. And the Leader of the House has to say today it's not about a bad deal or a no-deal, the devil or the deep blue sea. Mr. Speaker, can we have a debate about huffing and puffing? Because the Scottish people are looking at my Scottish Conservative colleagues with a mixture of bemusement and bewilderment. First, they threaten to resign, then they don't resign, then they write letters with red lines, then they do nothing, then they write more letters again, only to be ignored, which then seems to satisfy them. Mr. Speaker, they're about the most useless rebels in the history of parliamentary rebellions. Now, everybody in Scotland is watching The Wonderful Outlaw King on Netflix, the story of the great King Robert the Bruce. And you can only imagine what the Bruce would do if he had to rely on these rebels. They'd still be sending letters to Edward I as the heavy horse came charging over their heads. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, given the scale of what we've seen in resignations today, and I think a quarter of the Cabinet have now resigned in the course of the past few months, maybe the Leader of the House can consider having a spot in the parliamentary weekly calendar where resignees, if we could call them that, can come forward and offer to do that in the comfort of this place instead of having to stand outside on that drafty green to give their views to the press here. I think that's worth considering.